Good morning, Puneet. Yes, Chennai Petroleum, if you see, no, the overall the profitability looks okay, but no, I think there will be a pressure on in next few quarters over. And if you see the GRM is slowly and gradually normalized around $7 to $8. Demand growth is there around 4 to 5%. Again, the dividend play out now is good for this company, so that is working for the investor. And again, if you see the net cost cash position is also better. So yes, if someone is holding this up, keep it holding. I think still I think 1 or 2 quarter will be good for this company.
So that's with regards to Chennai Petroleum is the view. Moving on to the next one, it's Gautam who's writing to us from USA. He's a regular viewer of the show as well. He's recently bought 700 shares of BSE, and this is at a price of 2,803 that we're looking at. From that, he's seen about a dip of around 7% in this last few days itself. He's currently making a loss of around 1,000. Wants to understand, should he continue to hold or sell these shares? Wants to understand the outlook on this one. Tapan, what would your view be?
Now, the stock is good and overall the profitability is also good. And if you see the revenue profitability growth is almost more than 30%, which is actually helping the valuation to stay at around 59p. And going onwards, yes, there are some problems in a way. SEBI, if some bring regulation, then they'll be hit. But I think long-term play is a good one. So if he's a long-term player, I think no issues. I think the mutual fund division, even the more and more ETF are launching and SME IPOs also launching. That is bringing a good amount of fee for this company. So yes, I think for long term, I think it's a hold and buy at dips.
Let me go to Tapan for this. Tapan with IOCL, he's bought it for the deal that we're looking at. Just want to understand if you have tracked this development, what is your view with this particular counter?
Well, I have not tracked the development as precise, but no, overall I am positive on IOC because you see the oil is around 61, 62, which is helping their margins. And last few quarters, their margin has improved. All the oil marketing companies, and from here also 1.5 year, I don't see the price going about 70, $75. So I think this will help IOC. So I think he should hold it. And for short term duration, also 2, 3 quarters, I think things are positive for this company.
Well, and for Pandyan, the record date is tomorrow on 18th of December. So these shares have to be in your demat account. So wouldn't be advisable to sell it at this point of time. Continue holding if you want to be eligible for the dividend. But we have a next query coming from Gujarat, and Ishan has a stock query on RBL Bank from a long-term outlook. Now, it's important to track this counter today, down almost 1.5% because Citi had come out with a note on the counter. They say that the ECL impact, which is new norms, at 10 to 15% of the company's net worth is seen as the blended standard asset provisioning, which is projected to rise by almost 30 to 40 basis points. Now, that's going to be a key impact from just the current 35 basis point that they see. They've also said that the slippages will stay elevated in the cards portfolio and could take 3 to 4 quarters to bring it below the 500 crore mark that the company has set. So apart from that, though, they have mentioned that the MFI slippages are declining, moderating support in the overall run rate, and the monthly disbursement of the company in the MFI business will be a key one that they'll continue to track in Q3. And the recent deal by Emirates to buy 60% stake in the counter at 280 rupees per share will help reduce the cost of funding as well, apart from augmentation of equity. So these were some of the key points. But on ECL, I think that's likely dragging this particular counter down. Tapan, on RBL Bank, post the equity infusion, what's your view on the stock?
I agree with you, Puneet. No, if you see the RBL Bank, of course, it has come up a lot from the bottom. And of course, the management change, what we are talking about, no, that is going to bring some life in this stock. But it will take some time. Even if you see the management committee is quite positive. They are thinking of credit growth of 15 to 18%. Credit cost is going to normalize over the time. And they have a now strong adequacy ratio, capital adequacy ratio. So that is not a problem. But I think the stock has gone up a lot from the recent low. And most of the positive things are already discounted. So at this level, I'll tell no to buy. Just wait for a little bit drop, maybe 15% around that. Then he can enter for the long term if he wants. नमस्कार दोस्तों, होप आपको सेशन अच्छा लग रहा है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि हम भी आपको हेल्प करें स्टॉक सिलेक्शन में, तो आप हमारी सर्विस ले सकते हैं। हम एक सेबी रजिस्टर्ड रिसर्च एनालिस्ट है और आप www.catapan.in ये वेबसाइट में जाके देखिएगा। यहाँ हमने सब कुछ दिया हुआ है। अगर आप देखें तो एक पोर्टफोलियो बिल्डर कॉम्बो है जहाँ हम लोग इक्विटी, म्यूचुअल फंड, ETF, IPO, SME IPO, bonds recommendation, buy sell recommendation, वीकली सेशंस होते हैं जो आपको हेल्प करते हैं आपका पूरा पोर्टफोलियो स्ट्रक्चर और प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन में, प्लस पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू भी होता है। तो आप जरूर जाके देखिएगा। इवन आपको सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो इक्विटी का भी पोर्टफोलियो अवेलेबल है, जो आप सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो बेटर है आप एक बार जाके देखिए और समझिए। प्लस गाइस, अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड करें ऐसे सेक्टर रिकमेंडेशन और इवन स्टॉक पिकिंग एक्सरसाइज, तो हम उसकी भी लिंक दे देंगे, वो क्लिक करके नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड कीजिएगा। चलिए, डू सब्सक्राइब फॉर द नेक्स्ट वेबिनार। थैंक यू।
Welcome back to Ask Profit. Let's go across to our next query that's coming in on WhatsApp. It's an interesting one from Venkatesh from Mumbai. He's also a regular viewer, so thanks so much for sending in your query, Venkatesh. He's asking about CG Power, and there was a news flow in the morning today, media reports speculating that Apple is in talks with India CG Power to CG Semi, which is the semiconductor venture of the company, for iPhone packaging and for its chips as well. Post that, the shares have corrected and given up some of those gains. He holds 1,500 shares, and I was asking if this news could largely be very positive, so why have the stocks dropped? But he's also asking because he has bought it at 35, which I believe was the levels in 2020 before the Murugappa Group acquired the company. Tapan, on CG Power, firstly, what's your view for someone who's made 9 lakh rupees of gains on this counter? Because he's bought it at 35, trades at 679. Should he continue to hold, sell off some gains? And your view on their semiconductor venture as well?
No, first of all, I want to congratulate the user, buying so early. Now, talking about CG Power, we know that the valuation gone up earlier a lot. Now, lot of talk is going about that semiconductor unit, but that will take time. Maybe first half the next year, it may start. Till then, I don't see any sales jump or profit jump overall. And that's why if you see the valuation is still on a higher side. So I don't think that short term there will be a movement, almost trading at 100 PE. So if the stock wants to move, they have to increase their revenue should go up, profit go up, and that revenue from the semiconductor unit will take some time. So I feel that it will take time to go up. So for my take for this stock is, now if he wants to hold for, if he is taking a 2-3 years, then it's okay. Otherwise, short term, I think that there will be no movement. Yes, news are there, but still we have to see in the sales and profitability.
Okay, so that's with regards to CG Power, and quite a long-term outlook that Venkatesh has on this one. So we'll keep watching out for the developments in the semiconductor business as well. But moving on to the next caller, it's Jigar, who's calling to us from Mumbai. Hi Jigar, how can we help you today?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
My query is on NCC. I'm holding about 300 shares at 220.
Okay.
I've been holding for around 6 months, and I want to check whether I can add now at this price or I should wait for a lower price. And I want to hold it for around 12-18 months. And I have no interest in booking a loss right now. So, yeah, I'm planning to hold whether I should add more or not.
Okay, so you still have a particular long-term horizon to look at. Just want to understand, when you had entered this counter, was it on basis of fundamentals or like what was the view?
Fundamentals, actually, based on the business and the order book is what I was looking at.
Okay.
But the results are not coming good, and the last quarter results, they stopped giving the guidance, which is where I think maybe I should have just booked out, but it's now pretty much down from my buy price. So.
Right. Let me take this with Tapan then. Tapan, we've seen a lot of these infra companies not doing so particularly well. While the order book has remained on the stronger side, its execution and the new order inflows, which has mainly been on the muted side that we've looked, which has impacted the revenue growth as well. What is your view with something like a NCC? From FY26, do you see a better outlook for this?
See, NCC, of course, they have a very strong order book of almost 60,000 crore. As you rightly said, the execution delay is there. That is where the stock is going down. If you see, the stock has already corrected a lot from the top, and the valuation is now quite good now. No, it's not an expensive stock. And hopefully, what the management is saying that the execution will actually be good in next few quarters. The revenue growth may be around 15 to 18%. Margin improvement also they are talking about. And they have a good diversified EPC exposure. Now, as the already stock has corrected a lot, I think this is at this level there is no problem. I think he should hold it. Even if he wants to add it. I think next few quarters, based on the management, hopefully it will delay. They will be able to deliver. Then the stock will go up.
The next query that's coming in is on Shriram Pistons. Dinesh from Noida is asking a very interesting question. Firstly, he's a regular viewer, so thanks so much for that, Dinesh. He's asking, he's interested to buy into Shriram Pistons right now, post the acquisition that they've done of Grupo Antoine, which will give them perspective in the powertrain segment. So it'll give them the entry there in a meaningful way. Tapan, the stock has run up quite a bit over the last few months. Would you recommend that trade, and any view if you have on the acquisition if you're tracking this counter?
Yeah, see, overall the stock has run up a lot, as you told, and no, if the valuation, even if I see, no, that is little bit inching up, but I think things are going better for this stock over the time, and I think quarterly results will also come good. Even the management looks, quite positive on the margin fronts, and the export share expansion will be there. I have not tracked on the acquisition part, but I feel they have a strong balance sheet and cash flow, and plus ROC is also quite good. So yes, I'm quite positive on this stock. I will not tell to him buy at this level, but if he's holding that, please continue to hold for a long term little bit.
Next query, it's Lenin who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He's holding 44 shares of Bajaj Finance, and this is an average of 921 that we are looking at. Wants to understand whether he should average it or sell. Tapan, let me come to you on something like a Bajaj Finance. Are you optimistic on the business prospects of this one?
Yeah, of course, because if you see the October to December, as it is was a festival season, I think a good amount of sales has happened. Even the GST rationalization was another key trigger. And you see the Bajaj Finance, most of them have consumer finance lending and all that. I think there will be a good uptick there. So yes, I am positive. I think next 1 or 2 quarter will be good. Plus, if you see the interest rate coming down, that is what is helping all the net interest margin also. So yes, he should continue holding this stock.
Tapan, firstly, between CAMS or K-Fintech, do you have a preference? Because he already holds CDSL, and very quickly, if you can also include if it's a good time to switch into NSDL with that view as well.
See, actually, CAMS was one of a disappointment. No, the stock has not gone up so much, the way we thought about it. But still, I think, the mutual fund traction will be going on, and I think both CAMS and KFIN are good on that part, and their revenue is going to go up. I think market touching all-time high, and in future also the market goes up. I think this will be directly beneficiary as the mutual fund SIP comes in. So yes, I'm positive on both the stock. But if you want to ask any preference, then CAMS will be the preference for the long term. And CDSL also, I'm quite positive. That also gone down a lot, but now it is recovering. But you have to wait for long term. I think if it is a 2-3 years period, I think all these CAMS and CDSL both are good stock to hold.
The next one's on Ola Electric. Raju from Bengaluru is asking if it's a good time to enter the stock. Now, it wasn't focused today because yesterday promoter Bhavesh Agarwal sold out 2.6 crore shares as well to remove some of the promoter debt and to release some pledges as well. Tapan, on this one, there is an easy answer, but what should investors look at given the correction on the stock? What would you recommend?
See, there were a lot of promises from the management side, last quarter, 1 quarter, and that's why the stock gone up to 60, 70, and now again going down. And they are coming with, like, they're going to start BESS and Gigafactory and all that. But if you see their revenue, it's not compelling. They already lost the leadership position against Ather, even TVS Motor, Bajaj, Hero. So I think that is the problem. Their sales is not happening, revenue is not going up, and the losses are expanding. And I don't believe on the management, honestly. So again, there was a selling pressure also today by a promoter. So yes, I'm not positive. So for long term also, I'll not suggest this stock to buy.
Avoid is what we are looking for. Ola Electric. So that's the fundamental view. But moving on to the next one. Narishma Reddy wants to know whether Laurus Labs is a good buy for long term. Currently holds 160 shares, and this is at a price of 619 is what we are looking at. Stock, she's already sitting on significant gains considering that the stock is trading at 1,000. Again, Tapan, let me come to you on this one. Now, it's a long term picture that she wants to understand. Are you bullish on this counter?
Yes, of course. CDMO business is doing very well, and Laurus Lab has done exceptionally well. And in future also, I think there are some rules change in USA that will help CDMO business more. And they are pioneer. Laurus Lab, Divis Lab, Syngene. I think there are some of the stocks which are doing well in the CDMO space. So yes, I'm positive. As she is holding, I think continue to hold. I think still the future looks good.
Go across to Tapan then because for technical we will not have that kind of setup right now. Tapan, have you tracked this particular IPO? What is your view regarding this?
See, the valuation was at par. Okay, so there was no comfort on the valuation, but I think this is a stock now, maybe 10-15% down. Will I think that will be a better buy from here. If SE is already applied for the IPO, if we can wait for 6 months, 1 year, I think things will be better. See, the hospital sector is doing well, and the financials are okay. Only the valuation part was there. So just hold if he is a long term, but short term, I don't think it will go up.
Welcome back to Ask Profit right here on 80 Profit. We continue to solve a lot more stock related queries, so do start sending them the last 15 minutes and we'll try to take all of yours in this particular time. Let me go across to our next query. It's coming in from Ahmedabad, and our viewer is Nirav is holding SML Mahindra, which is of course SML Isuzu before it was acquired by Mahindra. And he's not mentioned his target price or what price he's bought in at, but he's asking a fundamental view on the stock. Tapan, is it a good play to have an indirect ownership with Mahindra, because they have said very clearly that they don't want to merge both of these companies right now? What would you recommend viewers to do?
No, he should continue to hold this stock, and you see the numbers are good. Even if you see the sales numbers are also good. Of course, the stock is down by almost 23% from the top, but if you see the guidance for the future looks good, and the way we can see the automobiles, the selling happening, and also the GST rationalization, I think this company will benefit out of that. So yes, I think the prospects look good. He could hold the stock.
The next query that we're getting in is from a viewer, Venkat Ramani. And again, a very interesting one. He wants to invest 50,000 in pharma stocks and asking if he should invest in Glenmark or Lupin for the next 12 months or any other alternative. Tapan, your view?
I think out of two, I think I'll prefer Lupin, because if you see Lupin, they had a very good sales around Europe and US also, and generic also it is quite recovering. Some of the new drugs are coming, patent drugs, so that will also add to their margins. And I think overall the management is quite positive for the outlook also. At current level, if he wants to buy, I think Lupin is the stock he can buy compared to Glenmark.
Would you recommend selling Canara Bank and buying into either ICICI or any other private bank, because the outlook on Canara is quite positive from brokerages amongst others? Your view, and he also holds SBI in his portfolio.
No, I'm still positive on PSU banks, including Canara Bank and SBI. So if he wants, it does not have any private, so he can do part of it, but not fully. Still, I feel Canara Bank has some legs. If you see the valuation gap, still these are trading around 1.1, 1.3 price to book value, and ICICI Bank and all at 2.5. So they are almost double. And still the credit growth, which I feel in PSU will be more than compared to private banks. Even the NPAs are normalized. So I still feel there are some legs, so he can do part, not fully. This is my opinion.
Tapan, your view with Himadri Chem. He's been holding it for 6 months, 6-7 months or so, and wants to understand the long-term picture on this one.
So if it is long term, then he can hold it. But for short term, I still think it will take time to recover, because overall, the chemical business is not doing well. The sector is overall in lot of pressure, and it will take 2-3 quarters. Also for this company, comparatively, this company has done okay. But I think provided he is a long term player, then he can hold. Otherwise, short term, I don't think 6 months or 1 year there will be a big change.
Rapid fire on Polycab, bought at 7251. What should Ramana do, Tapan?
Hold it.
Amrita has bought Biocon, and this is at a market price of 415. Now it's corrected. What should she do? Should she continue to hold? Vaishali, your view?
Hold.
Bought ITC at 252.5 and thinking of holding for the next 5 years. What Karan is asking. Tapan?
Sell.
Sai has bought 1,000 shares of Vodafone Idea at 7.5. Wants to understand the next 3-month outlook, whether he should continue to hold. Vaishali?
12 is the resistance. Above that, we look for 13 rupees to 14 rupees.
GMI Airport bought at 95. Should he continue to hold for the long term, Tapan?
Yes, hold it.
Okay, next one is Sterlite Tech. The viewer has bought 1,000 shares at 818. Wants to understand the view on this one. Tapan?
Yeah, hold it.
Bosch for the next 3 to 5 years. Should he buy into it, Tapan?
Yes, he can.
Okay, HFCL is another counter, 1,800 shares bought. Wants to understand for next 6 months, should continue to hold. Vaishali?
Exit.
NTPC Green bought at 99. Should he continue to hold, Tapan?
No, sell.
Suman has bought 19 shares of CDSL at an average of 1587. Should she continue to hold? Tapan?
Yes, hold.
MGL bought at 1490, currently sitting on a loss is Satyan. What should he do, Vaishali?
Exit.
Okay, Gautam has bought PTC India Financial Services at average of 38. Should she continue to hold?
या होल्ड। नमस्कार दोस्तों, होप आपको सेशन अच्छा लग रहा है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि हम भी आपको हेल्प करें स्टॉक सिलेक्शन में, तो आप हमारी सर्विस ले सकते हैं। हम एक सेबी रजिस्टर्ड रिसर्च एनालिस्ट है और आप www.catapan.in ये वेबसाइट में जाके देखिएगा। यहाँ हमने सब कुछ दिया हुआ है। अगर आप देखें तो एक पोर्टफोलियो बिल्डर कॉम्बो है जहाँ हम लोग इक्विटी, म्यूचुअल फंड, ETF, IPO, SME IPO, बॉन्ड्स रिकमेंडेशन, बाय सेल रिकमेंडेशन, वीकली सेशंस होते हैं जो आपको हेल्प करते हैं आपका पूरा पोर्टफोलियो स्ट्रक्चर और प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन में, प्लस पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू भी होता है। तो आप जरूर जाके देखिएगा। इवन आपको सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो इक्विटी का भी पोर्टफोलियो अवेलेबल है। जो आप सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो बेटर है आप एक बार जाके देखिए और समझिए। प्लस गाइज, अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड करें ऐसे सेक्टर रिकमेंडेशन और इवन स्टॉक पिकिंग एक्सरसाइज, तो हम उसकी भी लिंक दे देंगे। वो क्लिक करके नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड कीजिएगा। चलिए, डू सब्सक्राइब फॉर द नेक्स्ट वेबिनार। थैंक यू।
Investment in market securities is subject to market risk. Read all the documents carefully before investing.